Hello, 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 hello. This is, of course, HQ out here tonight. And you all know the thumbnail, the marginal communities piss me off, right? So, this was about things coming to a head when it comes to what this president is trying to do to our community out here. Black and brown communities, Hispanic communities, you name it, they're trying to do it to our communities. So, you'll just have to listen for a moment, right? Especially the black, brown, and the immigrants or the children of immigrants. You never know. This is about us, our family, and about our futures here in the United States. Right now, in Washington, there is a movement to roll back those protections that have been afforded to us for millions of people born here in the United States. Including full citizenship and X, Y, and Z. These are protections that, for a lot of us, are what make this country our home, right? So in January, the president signed an order, an executive order, trying to end birthright citizenship. So that means being born here in Minneapolis, Dearborn, Atlanta, or anywhere else would no longer automatically make you a U.S. citizen if your parents aren't citizens or permanent legal residents. I don't think a lot of people understand exactly what that means. Apparently, they're on the cusp of letting him roll those protections back. And if those protections get rolled back, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be getting deported legally and illegally, right? So if this order takes effect, many kids, children of immigrants, working parents, people who came here legally seeking safety could be denied citizenship at birth. That would make them vulnerable, right? Unable to get passports, Social Security, public benefits, all the basic rights like voting and jury duty and shit like that. Even though some courts have blocked that order for now, a judge in New Hampshire ruled it unconstitutional in July. That threat remains that they will be able to roll back those protections. We would be vulnerable. People would be vulnerable here. The push to strip citizenship is a deeper agenda, and people need to wake up and realize there is a different agenda, a redefining of who belongs here and who does not. So Donald Trump started that fucking agenda. He started that agenda. Okay? How it really happened, where it really started was with Obama, really. That's where it started. They couldn't believe they could not believe that they had elected a black man. They could not believe that. And so we gave birth to the Tea Party. This is where it all started, the birth of the Tea Party. So this agenda doesn't just attack immigrants. It has a racial dimension to it. Historically, the idea of birthright citizenship was strengthened through the 14th Amendment. Just precisely to give people of color, black people, especially descendants of enslaved black people, will have the same rights as everybody else. So when this political leader singles out singles out immigrants or brown and Hispanic communities for enforcement, raids, deportations, even getting regular natural born citizens caught up in that with no criminal record. That's a message. That's a chilling message. Your color, your background, your family's origin makes you a target, and it don't matter where you come from. If you have brown skin, black skin, it's over for this. It's over for safety in this country. Because it's already reports coming in that federal immigration operations in places like Minnesota are focused on that community, the Somali community. the Arab community, Afghan community, especially that St. Paul area, right? So we understand it isn't just about the immigrants, okay? Breaking the law. It's not just about y'all breaking the law. It's about strategy, criminalizing entire communities, sowing fear, splintering the solidarity, right? Hey, Jaslyn, and weakening protections for us, our neighbors, and our children. Remember that 14th Amendment had to do with making slaves equal citizenship. Just think about that. Even black people might have a issue. I don't understand how they plan to do it. I don't get it, but I wouldn't put it past them at all. I ain't gonna put it past them at all. Okay, they trying to weaken protections for all of us, everybody. If birthright citizenship is taken away or undermined, generations could grow up feeling like they don't belong, not because of what they done, but because of who their parents are, and that undermines the promise of this country. Okay, equality, justice, fair opportunity. So we need to stand together. Black people, indigenous people, immigrants, all people of color, and anybody who believes in having justice. Resist this narrative that is dividing us. Protect that birthright citizenship. Defend civil rights. And here's the thing. This is the problem that we having, because this president is trying to make it about white people losing their birthright, or white people losing their heritage, or whatever. We still have issues with people who are supposed to be on our side about this whole thing, that are supposed to be on our side about this whole thing. Okay, I don't know. We can't really tell. But let me talk about these brown and black communities. Let me talk about the brown and black communities. Okay, this was crazy.
If you feel proud to be American, raise your hand. God bless America. God bless America. If you feel proud to be American, raise your hand. God bless America. I win.
You know that shit pissed me off when I heard this shit. When I heard that shit for the first time, that shit pissed me off. Cause I was like, they don't like your ass either. That was the first thing I said. They don't like your ass either. And you done made a whole song. You done made a whole song. Okay? About these people, about Donald Trump, who told you that he didn't care when you came down the escalator, when he told you that he didn't care. You made a whole song in support of this president. When I heard that song, I was so pissed off. I was like, I know these folks ain't even getting up here on no stage singing no song to no Donald Trump, who don't care one way or the other where they come from. And I get it. In your community, you guys had a colorism issue. I get all that. I get that. But this wasn't the time. This wasn't the time to put yourself on the wrong side of history. This was not the time. I don't understand how you felt as though this person was going to be on your side compared to another person that would have been marginalized, or who was considered marginalized, or a person of color. See, when you talk to people about Kamala, when you talk to people about Miss Harris, the first thing they say, oh, she goofy, she did that, all this, that, and the third. I wonder what people think now. She can be as goofy as she like, but the tide has turned really, really going straight down the shaft for a lot of people of color. They got they got relatives, they got family, they got friends, they got all kinds of people that ICE is targeting. Scared to go to work, scared to come home, scared to go out the house, scared to go buy stuff to eat. Because you never know when ICE is going to pop up. And it don't matter. You better know that it don't matter whether you legal or you not legal. Because they're trying to get rid of the 14th Amendment. They trying to get rid of people. They don't care whether you legal or not. They trying to get rid of all those people. Any person that is not considered white, X, Y, and Z. And see, this is the problem that I have. You didn't see it. And I thought these people were so discerning of things that occurred, discerning of hostility. But because of the years and years of colorism in South America, Cuba, Venezuela, you name it, the years and years of colorism, you thought maybe you were white. Or you thought you were different from any other marginalized community. Or you didn't think at all. You just said, oh, okay, they can't be talking about me. Now we know. They were talking about you. And I hate to put the white people in the context of just a set of white people. That's not it. There's some good white people. There's some bad white people. It's like there's some good black people. There's some bad black people. Good Hispanics, bad Hispanics. You know, on in every group there is. And we're talking about the white Hispanic. We're talking about the white folks that don't want you here. Because there's plenty of them. Because they express it every day. Every day. No, you ain't one of them. You Hispanic. It is what it is. You can be close to whiteness all you want, but you ain't white. Okay? And this is what they express to people every day. Every day. And this is what concerns me, that you have not hit your head against the rocks long enough. I don't understand why you have not hit your head against rocks long enough. But let me show you some response.
Who say first, but we are not black.
Let me hold on. Yeah.
Let me say this for the people who don't know. These Houston Mexicans are racist. The Houston Latino people are racist. I'm telling you. Listen, I have been dealing with them for over 12, 13 years. You feel what I'm saying? These folks are racist, bro. Anytime you go on a job, the only focal point is going to be the black people. They're not going to tell their people nothing. They're going to let their people pretty much do whatever they want. But they're only going to focus on the things that you do wrong. I go through it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I only work 2 days out the week. I really don't need to work, but I need to get out the house so I wouldn't be just sitting in the house really doing nothing. But anyway, from construction jobs to fast food jobs, that's why a lot of teenagers don't have fast food jobs, because you got 40, 50, 35-year-old immigrants, illegal, that's working these jobs. Because what they do, they fire all the black people. Once a Mexican become a manager, they fire all the black people, get them out of there, whether it's paperwork, whether it's through picking with them, whether it's whatever kind of situation, they get them out of there and put their people in there. Every single time. But it's not that they do that, it's the way they do it, you hear me? They can't rise up without shitting on the American black person or the black person, period. They can't rise up without doing that. If you know anything about working with a Mexican, they always telling so they could get a position, so they could get a spot. And that's not the way to do it. They always discriminating on who? Us, every time. It's no other group they attack like this. Never. And if you from Houston, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you won't be in denial, just be in denial. I don't give a damn. But yeah, man, they are very, very segregated and very racist. Only when it come down to us, kiss the white people ass, kiss the Asian ass, kiss everybody else ass. That's just what it is. If you don't like what I'm saying, I know plenty of Mexicans. Y'all teach y'all women not to mess with black men, and y'all teach y'all men not to mess with black women. This is what y'all teach in the household. Now, this is not all of them, because you got some great Mexicans that don't see no color, right? But for the most part, 90% of the time, this is what you're going to get from a lot of Mexicans, especially the older ones. If it's some younger ones, I don't really get it from them, but you're going to especially get it from the older ones. The younger ones that do it is the ones who was taught that in their household.
So, why are some Black Americans anti-Mexican and anti-immigrant? It's a question that I've been exploring myself for a really long time, understanding and getting to the bottom of. So, I'm gonna talk about that in this video today. Being someone who is Afro-Latino with a very Black Hispanic parent, I feel like I have a perspective that I'm gonna share that a lot of people, of course.
See, Kevin, there's no way that you over here trying to tell people to stop voting for Democrats, because the Republican Party has made it very clear that they don't want blacks or Hispanics in their party. So we're going to stay over here in the Democratic Party because the Republicans have made it very clear that they don't want black people in their party. So I don't know what the hell you vote and what the hell you advocating for. You're not advocating for anything. You're advocating for us not to have a party, because we're not welcome in the Democratic Party. I mean, we're not welcome in the Republican Party. So therefore, you people always say, don't go where you hate it, go where you celebrate it. So we're not hated in the Democratic Party. We're hated in the Republican Party. So therefore, we're not going over there. So stop advocating for them not to be in the Democratic Party. You know that you don't want them in your party. It is what it is.
Don't normally like to speak on and touch on, but that's why your girl is here. I have a message to spread. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, bro. Mexican parents, which that's my experience because that's my background. Mexican parents, no matter what color, are extremely prejudiced towards Black Americans. And it is actually very common. And it has been going on forever. And Black Americans are catching on to that. Let's keep the ball rolling with this one. When I first came here to the US, I had just came out of a very small village, Afro-Indigenous village. And of course, when I first came here, I immediately met African Americans and of course the white Americans. We all had an idea of what they were like. We wanted to befriend them. We thought it was awesome. As a minority living in another country, you think Americans are really cool, as opposed to someone that's more, let's say in Europe, they hate Americans. And even in some parts of, my country, Americans are not really welcomed or loved.
That don't mean jack shit, Kevin O'Connor. Now they racist as hell in that party. Black folks don't even need to be in that party.
But in a small or minority village, poverty-ridden places, Americans are a dream. And I think that's very innocent-minded and a really beautiful idea to have as well. I don't think that's a bad thing, all right? I didn't know what being African American was. I didn't know everybody's background, even the white Americans. I didn't really know their history yet, right? I just knew everybody was from the United States and they were rich and awesome. One thing that I always talk about is kind of like, what is the movie Home Alone? That's my idea of the US, wealth and just white families. That's kind of how I had that idea. Of course, I know that's not true for all white people. So over time, when I started learning English and understanding things more, learning about history, of course, African American history, now I know that they didn't tell us the full truth about it. But, learning about slavery and learning about Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman and all of that, I was extremely inspired and I immediately became a really big explorer of African American history, the background of slavery and the result of the African American society we have today in present day, right? So I have that understanding now, and I'm a big, huge advocate and ally for my African American brothers and sisters. Now, I did see that my own parents had a lot of prejudices, ideas, stereotypes that they were told about the African American community, and then I started noticing that my friends' parents are the same way, and everybody's parents, and the elders were even worse. I was shocked, to say the least. To openly call Black folks the N-word, dehumanize, and hold them to the stereotypes that are straight up BS, not thinking of ourselves as one. That is something that exists and that I cannot defend. And even as a Mexican myself, a Latina myself, it's freaking bullshit. So back to my point, why do some Black Americans have or don't want to have an allyship towards Mexicans, Hispanics, or just the immigrant community in general? I'm not saying that it's okay to be inhumane, call us illegal aliens, and doing the same thing. The majority are white folks who are being like this towards us, but there is this percentage of folks that exist, and they're saying, do not fight, this is not your fight to fight, don't get into it. I wanted to share this really just kind of unusual perspective from a Hispanic as well. And this is the time when
You sound dumb, Kevin O'Connor. You sound dumb. Don't tell me what Democrats do. If you're a Republican, stay over there and be a Republican. Don't tell Democrats what they do. I'm a black person, so I know what they say and what they do. You are lying as usual. As usual, A Republican can't tell the truth about nothing. They lie about Democrats all the time.
We need to all come together as one, like this is not the time for petty arguments and all that stuff. But it is a good time to start creating awareness, shutting down racism from your abuelas, your tias, your tios, your tu mamá, tu papá, everybody. Cut them off. Not like, come on. Do not be a bystander to the bullshit. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, this is a question for my Hispanic community and the Latino community in general, okay? So growing up in Houston, Texas, I was always surrounded by a lot of Mexican people. And I always thought it made sense that they called themselves brown because A, like they looked like me. Like a lot of times Hispanic people and South Asian people look the exact same in different fonts, like I swear, okay? But also growing up, my best friends have always been usually Mexican women. Like my best friend, Brianna, we got along so well because there was so much similarity between the way Mexican culture is and Bengali culture is. Brianna was one of my only other friends with kind of stricter parents or like kind of had gender roles in her household. She was one of my only other friends that lived a multi-generational home like I did. And Brianna was what they would call morena. So she had my colored skin, maybe even darker than me, and like black hair and stuff, and darker, more indigenous features. So to me, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you're brown. You're like me, yeah. But then once I started getting to high school and college, I kept meeting Hispanic and Latino people that were white, like blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and they would also call themselves brown because they were Hispanic. And I would sometimes get really angry about that because I'm like, you can't call yourself brown. Like, you don't go through the same stuff actual brown people go through. If you present as white, you just don't. People don't look at you in a store and think you're gonna steal something. Or people don't constantly openly comment on your skin color or think things about you by looking at you. They don't have any preconceived notions about you by looking at you the same way they would about a more brown Hispanic person or a like person with brown skin, like a South Asian like me. So I always got kind of confused by them claiming the word brown. I just wanted to know your guys' take on it. I of course know nationality, ethnicity, and stuff have a lot to do with race. But in America, the way you're treated is highly tied to as what race you present. And it's interesting to see these people call themselves brown, especially since they have almost, like most of them have almost 100% European ancestry because like all of their ancestors were from Europe and then just like came to Mexico to do stuff. So I just wanted to hear from the Latino community, Hispanic community about what the rules are about calling yourself brown and if you have to go through the same struggles as other people in like the Latino community have to go through to call yourself brown or not. Just wondering.
You will never be white. As much as you, a fellow Latino, wants to be in proximity to whiteness, you will never be white. You will never be chosen in that way. As much as you think that you are better than undocumented Latinos because your family came here the right way, or because you're second generation or third generation, or because you either forgot or unaware of the foundation of this country and the fact that immigrants from Europe came here, stole the land from indigenous people, and then literally stole people, and forced them to be slaves, forced them to do labor. So when you think that you want to be in proximity to whiteness because you consider yourself better, think about that. Think about that there is internalized racism in our own community, how there is anti-blackness in our own community, how there is colorism in our own community. Think about those things because no human being is better than the other because they think that because they have papers.
You say the double tap is not going so well. I don't know why they thought the double tap was going. I don't even know why they thought the first tap was going so well. Somebody put in the chat for me, what law says drug dealers need to be murked? What drug dealers say? What law says that you murk drug dealers? I could have sworn you took them into custody and then you tried them and then you found them guilty, collected all the evidence. That's my understanding. But we got people who've been in the chat lately that's been defending the bullshit that this president has done. Just like they will defend this bullshit of this migration, of this immigration policy. Just like they defend this immigration policy, they defend the bullshit that this president come out with.
That they are better than another human being. A human being is a human being. There is no alien. There is no illegal when it comes to the world, okay? So let me remind you that you will never be white. Oh my gosh, who said that? Who said it? Who said that?
A big majority of the Hispanic content creators nowadays really don't care about people getting deported or ICE or anything about that. Just know their entire family has papers, their entire family are literally United States citizens. They could care less about y'all. The only reason they're posting that type of content is literally for a bag. It's trending right now, so of course they're gonna post it. They could care less. And I promise you, as soon as this dies down, they will never talk about it again until it starts trending again. People have been getting deported for years. They have been treated like trash for years. They have literally been put in concentration camps for years. But now that it's trending, that's when everyone's gonna talk about it, just so they can make a quick bag and gain a whole bunch of supporters and followers. But like I said before, as soon as this dies down, they will never talk about it ever again because they could care less.
You never know the silent battles people are fighting, even the people you think you're the closest to. You'll never walk in my shoes, and I will never walk in yours. And we shouldn't have to in order to empathize with each other.
Us as
Why do y'all always get in the chat and be disingenuous? How do you get in the chat and be disingenuous? Nobody is against immigrant deportation. Nobody is against deportation. We're against the way this president is doing deportation. I wish y'all would get that through your head. I wish you would. We're not mad at deportation. We're mad at the fact that he's doing it to hardworking people who are doing it the right way, going through the courts, all of this kind of stuff. We're not talking about we're talking about people who committed crimes. And this president and his ICE gang are not even following those rules. So stop it. Y'all, I love when y'all get disingenuous. That's crazy.
Latinos, I've noticed that we're willing to accept white people in our family, but not black people. Most of the time, we prefer white people over black people. Really, any other nation more than a black person. What I mean is, a mother's daughter has a white boyfriend. They would happily welcome him more than if she had a black boyfriend. Most of the time, there's a stereotype within the Hispanic household about black people, right? That they're criminals, they're gang members, they're violent, they're someone you should fear. When really, we should look at white people that way, because white people are the ones who actually are harming us right now. Yes, they're Hispanics who are in those ICE trucks, ICE vans, but they have been put in place by the oppressor. The same people who descend from the people who took your land, put your forefathers in slave ships, stole your identity, gave you the terms Latino, Hispanic. The people who descend from those people, they're oppressing you today. And their forefathers oppressed your forefathers back in the day. So what is my point? We need to deny any nation but our own. As Black, Latinos, and Natives, we are the same people. We should unite, we should come together, and we should marry one another. If your daughter wants to get with a so-called African American, of course, you want to make sure that he's a good fit. You should allow that. If your son wants to get with an African American sister, make sure she is fit and allow that. And same thing for so-called black people. Same thing for your daughters and your sons who want to get with natives
or so-called Hispanic. You should allow that, because that's going to make us unite. That's going to make us stronger. And people might say, well, black people hate Hispanics. Hispanics hate black people. Listen, the reason why we are hurting each other is because we're oppressed.
Wait a minute, hold up. Let's be clear. Black people do not hate Hispanic people. We do not hate white people. That's what y'all don't get. That's what y'all don't get. We don't hate you. We know that y'all don't like us. So why would I continue to cater to you and be on your side if I know you don't like me? Same thing with white people. I know you don't like me. So therefore, I'm not going to be friends with you or friendly with you or try to get into a relationship with you or any of the above. I'm just saying that's what a lot of black people think. We know you have colorism in your country. We know you come from countries where there's a lot of colorism. We know all of that. We don't hate you. We're just indifferent. We're just indifferent. We're always waiting for you to swing the stick. That's all. Let's be clear. You come with that mind frame. Black people will accept mostly anybody. If you come correct and you're friendly and you're not, we will accept you. It's when you don't come that way and we can feel the prejudice and we can see that we just don't want to be bothered after that. That's all. We don't hate you.
By the same person who's causing stress, who's causing chaos, who's causing poverty in our lives. And when we're going through stress and anger, we get violent. And who are we going to get violent with? The people who live among us. We live amongst each other. You understand? But the people who we should really be upset with, and who we should point the finger at, is our oppressor. And we should never point the finger at each other. We should come together, resolve our problems, get over grudges, get over division amongst each other, and really come together as a community. Get off of drugs. Go against drugs. Go against drug dealers. Go against our daughters being whores and prostitutes and sleeping around. And really lock in and build as a community where men can be men, women can be women, and we'll rise to the top. And that's what the Most High, our God, wants for us. He wants us to get right, to fix ourselves, to cleanse ourselves. This is from the ISUPK and the Commander General Hana. This is what we teach. This is what we promote, because this is what the Bible teaches.
Kevin, stop that bullshit. I hate when y'all get in the chat and y'all just say stuff. Say stuff. White people commit the most crimes. Stop it. If you picked up a report and you looked at the report and you looked at 3, 4, 5 different reports, they will tell you that white people are the majority of the people in this country and they're the people who commit the most crimes. Stop it. And if you haven't read a report, then shut the hell up. I hate when y'all come in here with that 1350 bullshit, because you don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking out of your ass. Always talking out of your ass.
You understand? If you want to learn more, go to isupk.com. Find a school near you. Shalom.
Shalom. Damn, he said shalom. Is that Mexican? I ain't know. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe button, please, and thank you. We have content like this all the time. We appreciate the like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Have you ever wondered why a lot of quote-unquote Latino Hispanics seem to be confused about their identities?
No, we ain't confused. Y'all confused. It ain't no facts, Kevin. You need to go to the website where that statistic came from. That's how I know y'all don't read. That's how I know you don't read, because I know exactly where that came from. It's not commit the crime, goofy. 15% don't commit the crime, goofy. 15%. It's 60%. No, it's not even 60. It's the 50%. Oh my God.
Or be
Oh my
confused
God. Just dumb.
use with the
Um,
terms of race, ethnicity, nationality? Well, because
the damn thing has been debunked by the goddamn FBI website so many times. Y'all just dumb. Why don't you go to the wait a minute, where is it? Why don't you go to the Trump website? Go to their FBI website and see the statistic. Because I want to know whether you actually go and see the statistic, unless you're just talking. Because you don't know. 15% of the population, it's not 15%, it's 13%. For one, it's 13%. And it's not 60%, it's 50%. And it's 50% that get arrested. Goofy. 50% get arrested. Goofy. That's not convicted, that's arrested. Goofy. Not convicted, not put in jail, not put in prison, arrested. Arrested is different from convicted and put in prison. I'm sure you all may be dumb, but I'm sure you know the difference between arrested and convicted. Let's hope you know the difference between arrested and convicted, goofies.
it is actually very confusing. And I'm going to use my own identity to explain it. And at the end, I want you to tell me if you're exhausted. So we'll start off with my racial identity. I'm racially brown. Now, before y'all come jumping in my comments and saying brown is not a race, legally, no, it's not a race. But the definition of race is based off of your overall phenotypical appearance on a social level, because race is not biological, it's a social construct. So I am racially brown. But since brown is not a race legally, then what is my race? Well, in the United States, I typically used to mark other.
I'm not talking to you disingenuous goofies. Long as you goofies ain't went to the website and looked up the statistic that you're talking about, I can't engage with you because you're just talking. And when people just talk and don't know what they're talking about, you're considered a goofy.
Up until the last census. Because up until the last census, I could not mark myself as Native American.
Well, then you need to be telling Full Metal Chad, you need to be telling them that. Because I'm the liar. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Because while Native
Of course I went to a fake website. Of course I did. Of course I did. Just of course I did. Of course. You couldn't be the one who didn't go to the website. I mean, you just out of the realm of possibility, you couldn't be the one who had the wrong statistic. It just could not be true.
American is also a racial identity, it is also a political identity. And political identity takes precedent over racial identity when it comes to Native Americans. So the political identity of federally recognized tribes is Native American, but that is also their racial identity. But because I don't have the political identity of Native American because I'm detribalized, I can't claim that as a political identity. That is up until the last census, a legal identity, so to speak. However, since I'm not legally Native American, I'm actually legally white, even though I phenotypically present Native American. Now, I'm legally white based off of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and several other subsequent court cases that happened in the time period following the signing of that treaty. And because at that time period, the only people allowed to be citizens were white, and then after the
Goofy, Charles White, goofy. Arrest. I just said it. Oh my God, I just said it. Arrest is not conviction. Goofy. That's all I'm going to say. Arrest is not conviction. Goofy. That's not conviction. Goofy.
Civil War, also
So it don't matter. I've been arrested maybe 4 or 5 times, but I ain't never went to jail or prison. Goofy.
Black people. we were still not considered citizens, even though we had a treaty that said we were. So in order to make us legally citizens, they had to classify us as legally white. So my racial identity boils down to this. I am legally white, I am socially brown, and I am phenotypically Native American. Now let's get into my ethnic identity.
Well, we ain't finna do
That's
that.
the attitude of white people towards black people. Okay, they aren't. So not only have we helped them, because we have helped them, we got them civil rights, right? Because once black people got civil rights, it was given to everybody. So not only have we helped them, so you come here, you're taking resources and you're rude. Like, there needs to be a conversation. Have any of y'all stepped in a Bravo supermarket? What do you see? All you see them hiring is Hispanics and white people. I tried to apply. They won't let my ass in. Like, we gotta have that conversation one day. Cause I see the riots going on in LA right now. And I see like black people like kind of like standing with them. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing?
Now, let me say this for the people who don't know. These Houston Mexicans,
Well, we ain't gonna hear you again either. We gotta listen to the lady. So I can finish.
1000% about color. He's targeting innocent Latinos and deporting them, tearing families apart, even deporting Americans. He's deported American children with cancer without their medical supplies. On top of that, he's deporting people that are actually in the legal process of becoming Americans. Meanwhile, on Monday, he is welcoming white, keyword white, South Africans into America. He's providing them housing, prepaid phones, weather appropriate clothing, groceries, house furnishings, all while also saying that Latinos are draining the economy. Are you, like, be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real, because these are the same Latinos that work multiple jobs. When have you seen a Latino immigrant begging on the street? I'll wait. Latino immigrants work multiple jobs, don't even qualify for the benefits that he falsely claims that they are abusing. Babe, they can't even get these benefits. They will sell you flowers, wash your car, wash your house, wash the dishes. They do everything. They don't qualify for these benefits. You think if they qualified for these benefits that they would have all these multiple jobs, babe?
Apparently they think
God,
so.
like,
Apparently they think so.
at this point, I just don't want to hear it. I feel like there's so many people that I know personally that have been gaslighting me, constantly saying, oh, Trump he's not racist, he loves Latinos. Then make it make sense.
Then make it
make sense. And then the ACLU has already reported there has been so many U.S. citizens that have been arrested and detained because they have been racially profiled. Yeah, for the color of their skin and for speaking Spanish. So please, I don't want to fucking hear it. It is about race. It is about color. If you're black and brown in America, you are targeted. And right now they're trying to get rid of habeas corpus, which is going to eliminate your right to resist arrest. So, yeah. For all the Latinos that voted for Trump, babe, it's you or me next at the end of the day. Like, this is about color. This is about preserving whiteness. This has always been that. And, you know, I don't think that we are at a point to, like, blame the Latinos that voted for Trump anymore. I think it's just wake up. Like, there's literally nothing that he's doing that's going to benefit you. Nothing.
It is what it is. So I want to speak directly to my black and brown folks, to the immigrants, to every community that believes that America should belong to all of us, right? All of us. It should belong to all of us. So what we're seeing right now is not just a political fight over immigration or paperwork or people X, Y, and Z. What we are witnessing is a push from the highest levels of our government, the highest levels, to reshape America into this ethnocentric nation where whiteness is centered and where black and brown bodies are marginalized, devalued, and treated as an other. So when the president signs an order to strip birthright citizenship, see, that's when I knew that that it was more than just illegal immigrants. So why are you targeting the people with naturalized citizenship? You didn't have to do that. That's all you had to do was get rid of people that were here, illegal immigrants that were here. You didn't want to do that. It was more about the brown and black people that were here. It had nothing to do with just illegal immigrants. Because otherwise, why would you be going against natural birthright citizenship? Why would you need to do that? Why wouldn't you just get rid of all of the illegal immigrants? Why are you trying to get rid of people that are legally born in the country because their parents are illegal? Why would you try to get rid of that particular provision? Because it's not about just illegal immigrants. It's about the black and brown people. That's what it's about. And it's always been about the black and brown people. Okay? So when this president signs an order to strip people of their birthright citizenship, okay, kids that are born on the U.S. soil might not be guaranteed citizenship if their parents are immigrants. This is not about illegality or immigration, tourism, or anchor. This is about black and brown people. This is about changing who is allowed to belong here, to be considered foreign here, natural here. This is about changing who is allowed to belong here. This is what this president is trying to do. That move undermines 150 years of constitutional protections. Protections that were given to ensure that the children born in this country are American, full stop. But it's not about that. It's about getting rid of the black and brown people in this country. Okay. See, the intent, even if some who support this policy don't admit it, because you're going to have a lot of white people that don't want to admit exactly what this president is doing. They don't want to admit it. It's clear. It's about narrowing citizenship, whiteness, and American identity down to a smaller subset of people. That vision doesn't leave room for our immigrant neighbors, our mixed families, or people or our children born here from immigrants, parents. Right. It tells our communities that you're not welcome. That black people, brown people, mixed people are not welcome unless you look a certain way, unless your parents are acceptable. Because why would you restrict? Why would the president restrict immigration from certain countries, but mostly black and brown countries, but then bring over South American white farmers? Why would you do that? If it was about immigration, why would you invite white farmers to come over here? Why would you want that to happen? When you said you didn't want immigrants coming over here. You said that. So if you actually believe that, why would you invite South African people over here to this country? Why would you do that? If it wasn't about black and brown people. Okay? That was your intent. Knight Rider, you're dumb. You're dumb. You mean to tell me you ain't did no research on that yet? You ain't did no research and found out your president was lying about that? Dummy, goofy. So, you have to look a certain way unless your parents are acceptable. That kind of politics, that built bridge of fear, exclusion, that's considered racism. Let's not make no mistake, though. The rhetoric often claims this is just about immigration. That's all they're going to say. All the Trump supporters, all the MAGA supporters going to say, oh, no, it's about immigration. We just want them all out of here. The effects, past and projected, hit black and brown people first, hardest, and the worst. When the government targets immigrants, the lines are blurred. When you think of immigrants, when they think of immigrants, they don't think about all the motherfuckers that's coming across the border in Canada. You don't think about that. They don't think now nothing about that. When they come across from Canada, they don't think nothing about that. Not a damn thing. Okay. When the government targets immigrants, we feel some type of way. Okay. US born people, immigrant heritage, any of those people could be swept up. That's how ethnocentric policies become racial profiling, injustice, and second class citizenships by default. The president, we got embarrassed by the president the other day. We got embarrassed by the president. Hold on. This embarrassed. Oh, he was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I couldn't even believe he said it, but he said it out loud.
It's ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
Let's stop bringing in black and brown people. Let's stop doing that so that we can go back and be at a citizenship that's only white or mostly white or primarily white. Let's do that. We don't want them in our country. We don't want them. You know how the president is saying that we don't want them? That's how that sounds to us black and brown people when we hear MAGAs and other white people say we don't want immigrants here, we don't want you here. You sound like the president. You sound like the president. This is what we hear. This is what we hear from white folks. I'm not saying you say that. I'm saying this is what we hear. Just like this. We don't want you. You don't want us in the plan. And when people say, why are you a Democrat? It's because you Republicans don't want us in your party. You don't want black and brown people in your party. You don't want black and brown people in your party.
Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing.
This is embarrassing.
You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. This is our president saying, we don't want you here. This is exactly what we hear. We hear this exactly. We don't want you here, black and brown people.
Ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions.
I love America. It's my second home. I love America. It's my second home.
She's been here all the time. You don't know whether she's a liar or she's not a liar. Hold on. Let me play this. Because this really, I was embarrassed for this. This is what I really was embarrassed for. I said, oh Oh no, my brother.
1 minute or so, everybody.
Start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us here today at the Minnesota State Capitol. My name is Salman Fiki, and I have the privilege of being your host for this significant gathering. Today, we come together to hear from key leaders within Minnesota's Muslim and Somali communities who will share their priorities and perspective as we approach the 2024 general election. This is a vital moment for us to address some of the critical issues affecting our community, from safety concerns to economic and educational challenges that impact our daily lives. Today's gathering reflects our commitment to unity and progress, and we are grateful to each one of you, media, community members, and leaders for being here. To start, we have the honor to hear from Faisal Deri, a dedicated leader in our community who will summarize some of the pressing issues that have brought us together today. Faisal will speak to the challenges of our community at this stage. Welcome.
Here we go. 90% of those people are on welfare for real. Have y'all looked up the stats? Anybody got those stats? Because I'd like to know it. I haven't looked up how if they have those stats. I haven't looked it up.
All right. Thank you all for being here. I was not actually planning on being here at this event. And last night at 9 o'clock, I got a call from a good friend of mine, Salman, and we talked for an hour. And I knew Salman as a Republican, as a Somali, a close friend of mine, and somebody that I've worked with for a long time. And we had a conversation about values. What brings us to the table? What brings us to this Capitol? What brought us to this country in the beginning? For me, I've been a lifelong Democrat. I grew up in Seattle. I went to elementary, middle school, high school there. I was a proud supporter of NPR. I was involved in party politics. And when I was graduating high school is when Senator Obama was running for office. And I became very excited. For the first time in my life, I saw somebody that looked like me, that came from a background similar to me. His dad's from Kenya, by the way, East Africa. So we share a common ancestry in that sense. And I became enamored in the idea that change can happen in a real meaningful way. So as a youth, I volunteered, I got involved with the party, I was door knocking, excited, and election night came, and we had a historic event that took place in this country. And I felt like we were moving in the right direction. But sadly, a few years later, I got a phone call, and it was a call saying that my brother had died in Somalia. And just like everyone else, I was saddened, I was shocked, and I was in a state of turmoil. But what even hurt more was knowing that he died as what we call collateral damage from a drone strike ordered by Senator Obama, President Obama at that time. The person that I had knocked doors for, that I organized for, was directly responsible for the murder of my own brother, my older brother. And I became disillusioned. How can this great nation that has welcomed me and my family and millions of people like me, we joined the Democratic Party because we thought Republicans were scary. We thought a lot of you were racist. And honestly, there is a problem still within the party.
Wait a minute, you dropping what? What's going on?
That needs to be dealt with, but it's a problem that is pervasive throughout our society in America. And I said, you know what? I'm not changing parties. I'm going to stick true to my values, and I'm going to organize harder, and I'm going to get involved in a very different way. And at that time, I moved to Iowa. I went to Iowa State University, go Cyclones. And I was organizing there. I became a part of the Iowa Democratic Party, and I eventually became the vice chair of the Progressive Caucus of the Iowa Democratic Party. And at
What in the hell are you talking about, Yarmans? I have no idea what you're talking about. For one thing, of course there are black people in the Republican Party. Of course. But you all have let black and brown people know from your behavior, from the way you speak, from the way you express yourself in chats, that you don't want black and brown people in your chat. When you don't want black and brown people in your party. When you have dropped emails from your leading Republican senators or your leading Republican people in your party. When you have people go to TPUSA, dark people go to TPSUSA and get called out, you're somebody else, you're other, you're not wanted in our party. Talk to your party. Don't talk to me about whether Kanye and them is in their party. There's people that are delusioned everywhere. So there's people over here in the Democratic Party that are delusioned. Just like there's people over in your party that's delusioned. Specifically black people. Stop it. You're not dropping any facts on me. I don't understand what you're talking about.
that point, I was
You have made it very clear that you all do not want black and brown in your party. Talk to your party, dude.
introduced to
Talk to your president.
Senator Sanders a couple days.
Okay. Don't talk to me. Talk to your president. Okay. Where's that guy at? Where's our guy? Oh, here you go. Goofy.
This event. Thank you very much. It is heartening. I've been a lifelong Republican, so I'm sure, you know.
And the Democratic Party didn't start the KKK. Democratic Party was already formed way before KKK. KKK just aligned with Democrats against the Civil Rights Bill. That's all they did. They weren't a part of the Democratic Party. They ended up going south, which is the Republican Party, and then they went to the Republican Party in that party. They never were. They were part of the Democratic Party just so they could vote against the civil rights information. Yeah, well, I'm not wrong. I know what I'm talking about. Y'all love to say they founded the Democratic Party. No, they did not.
And I love Trump. We've always loved Trump. And the reason why is because he's a fighter. That's it. We like fighters. More importantly, the left left us. They left us. 33% of our kids at third grade cannot read at grade level. We went from the...
No, we didn't. Democratic Party was formed way before the KKK. Y'all do y'all facts. Y'all do y'all research instead of repeating shit you hear. Democratic Party was already founded before KKK came along. Please do your research. Damn.
6 to what? 19 now? Minnesota in education? I mean, we are failing in every standard. 8th graders, 60% cannot do math at grade level. These are our kids. We talk about economic conditions here. Our conditions is horrible. We can't afford anything as working class and middle class people. Now, please understand this. We love our brothers and sisters who are Democrats, but you left us.
See the garbage? You see we got zombies in the chat? You see we got zombies in the chat. I'm a cunt, but I don't know my research. I'm a Democrat. Stop saying dumb shit. Stop saying dumb shit. Democrats were formed before the KKK. Zombies. Look it up. Zombies. Instead of being in here talking about KKK formed Democrats. Look it up.
And because the left left us, join the right, vote for Trump, 2024, vote for George Rape, 2024, vote for Maisie Young in St. Paul, 2024, vote for Tajud in CD3, 2024, vote for Tom Emma, our lion, out of St. Cloud. Farhan is here and is endorsing him. And please go out.
So tell him that you wanted to endorse President Obama. No, that you wanted to endorse President Trump. But as you can see, they endorsed President Trump. What did President Trump do to these people? What did he do to these people?
If you are not black, I don't know how to explain you guys this. This is like 5 years we are fighting about this topic. Let's change it. Come on, guys. We are not black. Me and all of my countrymen, we are not black. Come on, guys. Accept the pain. Shh.
They want to prove that Somalis are not black. Me and all of my countrymen, we are not black. If you think we are black, you're wrong.
We're not black, we're not Arab, we're Somali. Let me start off by why we're not black. This is black, this is brown, and there's not a single person in the world that's this skin color. Do your research. Black is the absence of color. It's what you get when there's no color. It's what you get when you turn off the light. You get black. And yes, I know there's going to be those people that say Somalis or East Africans are in that racial construct, that racial typology, that racial classification. But no, who made this thing? Who made this racial classification? It was the Europeans. The white man made it.
And that was part of y'all's problem. That was a part of y'all's problem, Kevin. You thought just because Obama was black that he was racist. That was you all's problem. You all are the one that can't deal with race. You can't deal with race. That's y'all's problem. That's a you problem. That is a you problem. The minute Obama got elected, you all lost your mind. That's y'all's problem. That had nothing to do with Obama. That was you all's problem.
And if a white man told me I'm a prick, doesn't mean I have to go by it. In my opinion, there's not a single person on this world, whether you're West African, East African, North African, South African, or even in the Caribbean, that's black. We are not this color. We are just different shades of brown. And I believe some people, like the East Africans, don't accept what the colonial people told them they are. And other people obviously accept it and they don't care what a colonial or the people that enslaved them calls them. So right now, you're telling me if they called you back then, if they called you you're a prick or you're an idiot, you'll just accept it right now and you say, yeah, us Africans are idiots, we're pricks. Is that what you're telling me? Do the Asians call themselves yellow or red? I wonder. Now for the reason why we're not Arab, yes, we may be in the Arab League, that doesn't make us Arab. We just did that for political time. Somali people came before the Arabs. The East African people came before the Arabs. We are Cushitic people. We are Cushitic speaking people. And the Cushitic language and the Cushitic people came before the Arabs. So you can't tell me we're Arab if we came before them. We don't share the same language and we speak the Cushitic language.
Absolutely, your moms. Absolutely. You've been dumping on me ever since you got here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep dumping.
We don't share the same culture. What culture do we have we've got similar to the Arab people? Come on, man. We don't share anything that's similar. The only thing that we share is Islam. And you will find a lot of Arabs that are either Christian, Jewish, Muslim, but you will never, it's hard to find a Christian Somali or a Jewish Somali. Somalis are 99% Muslim. And even that 1% gets disowned. Shout out to Chunks.
You know, you're gonna let the white man tell you you're black and accept it. That's perfectly fine. That's your choice, right? You can run with the identity and say, oh yeah, I'm black, I'm black, I'm black, I'm black, I'm black. Cool. But when you see a motherfucker that tells you, oh, I'm no black, I'm Somali, don't be mad at us, because I know who I am. Feel me? Don't be mad at me, because I know who my great father is. And I can name him by name. So that means I know my identity. I know who I am. I know my lineage. I know my ethnicity. So why would I like say I'm black? Yeah, like my skin color got melanin, but melanin is not black. Melanin is like a thing that helps you survive the sun. So it's like, tell me like that's this black identity thing. Like that's a white man literally like trying to brainwash y'all, and y'all fighting us for that. That's crazy.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro,
I always get low likes. I always get low likes because you don't like hearing the truth. I can't help it, you all. Hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button, hit the hate button, hitting whatever button you like to hit, okay? Hit the button. But it's only haters that come over and hit the hate button because they don't like to hear the truth. You don't like to hear the truth? I can't help you. Can I help you? As you can see, this video wasn't for you white folks. This video was for black folks. You came into my chat. I didn't come into your chat. I didn't come into your chat. This video was for black and brown people who needed to start being unified. You came into my chat. You came into my live. Why you coming to my live and hit the not like button? I don't understand what's going on. Hit the like button, for goodness sake. You come over here all the time. Why you didn't hit the like button? Why you didn't hit that? I don't understand. What's going on, man?
Think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black,
why you here? I don't understand. Why you here? Well, if you don't want to hear the truth, why are you over here? Because I'm not finna lie to you. Here, let me give you some facts, goofies. Let me give you some facts. The Democratic Party didn't start the KKK, and the KKK didn't start the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party started in the 1820s. The KKK started in the 1860s. So therefore, the KKK didn't start the Democratic Party. Please get that straight. Please get that straight. Jesus, please get that straight. Okay? And these were Southern Democrats who were really the Republican Party in the middle. It was until they started going right that they didn't want the civil rights that they got separated. And then they became Republicans. Just wild. Just wild. Just wild.
we can't be black.
Of course I'm lying. Of course I'm lying. Of course I am lying. I'm always lying. But it couldn't be that you didn't look the facts up. It couldn't be that. I mean, it just couldn't be that. I don't understand.
Bro, we literally can't be black, bro. Boogie, did you eat your brain cells? Really and truly, Somalis are Arabs, bro. Think about it, bro. We're in the Arab leagues, we speak the Arab language. Bro, tell me I'm not lying, bro.
I don't care if I'm the first to say this, but us Somalis are not black. I don't care if you call me black. I'm not black. I'm Somali. And that's it.
No, goofy. You all said the KKK made the Democratic Party. You did. It did not. It did not. You all said that. I told you the KKK did not form the Democratic Party.
We are Somalis. We are.
And the Southern Democrats are actually the Republicans of today. Stop it.
Kushetic. That's it.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it. Alright? Everyone is keep asking, why don't Somalis want to identify as black? It's simple. The term black was never a word to begin with. Yeah. The term black, it didn't come from
God.
Africa.
Oh my God.
It came from America. Hello.
Oh my God.
Right?
Goofy first name, last name, Goofy. That's what I said. Goofy. That's what I said. I said Democratic Party was formed in the 1820s and KKK was formed in the 1860s. I said that, Goofy.
It was designed to separate slaves from Europeans. It was not designed to celebrate identity. It was to control it. Yeah. So, when Somalis came to the West, we didn't suddenly become black. We were labeled. Alright?
I'm just trying to figure out what difference does it make whether the KKK was aligned with the Democrats or the Republicans. The KKK was aligned with the Democrats when? Y'all say they were aligned with the Democrats back then, but now they're aligned with the Republicans right now. Why do y'all keep bringing that up like that's a flex or something? Like, why do you keep bringing up the fact that the KKK was aligned with the Democrats? I don't understand. They're aligned with you all today. So what? Why do you keep talking about the? I don't understand. Don't even make no sense. Every time you get into a conversation with y'all, it's the Democrats used to be KKK. Y'all were KKK now. What in the hell? I don't understand. Why are we having that conversation? That's crazy. That's because that's crazy. Like it's a flex to tell me that the KKK used to be aligned with the Democrats. You all told me that the Democrats were formed by the KKK, which is a lie. Now, back then, the KKK was aligned with the Democrats, called the Dixiecrats. Then they turned into the Republicans. The Southern Southern Democrats. Now they're aligned with you all on the Republican Party. Now they're aligned with you all on the Republican Party. So why y'all over here flexing like it's some kind of something? I don't understand. Why you keep telling me that the Democrats used to be formed by the KKK? I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. Y'all goofy. I don't get it.
And we embrace it. Chill out.
No, I know the history. I just don't think the history is relevant. It's not relevant that the KKK and the Democrats used to be aligned because they're not aligned right now. Just wild. Just wild. Don't even understand what's going on. Why would you even need to say you're hooked to the KKK? What the hell? I just said to you, you, the Republican Party, don't even want black and brown people in your party. Then you get mad at me and start talking about we belong to the KKK. What the hell? And the KKK endorsed your party. They endorsed your party. They didn't endorse the Democratic Party. They endorsed your party, the Republican Party, the party I told you no black person with any kind of self-respect would be over there trying to be in because you don't want them to be in that party. That's wild. The KKK was not formed before the Democratic Party, goofy. I said after the Democratic Party in the 1860s.
Like that. Chill like that. Sheesh. Somalis had identity before race. All right? Our identity comes from.
I don't understand why they so afraid to be called racist. If that's what it is, long bone, I don't understand. I don't have no problem with you saying you're a racist. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I know I'm not a racist, so I don't care what you are. But don't put the tag on me. Oh, you guys are on the Democratic plantation. Why are you worried about whether I'm on a Democratic plantation or not? I don't understand. You don't want me in your party? I don't understand. What's going on? See, this is the gaslight I don't like. We get called all kinds of names. We get thrown out of TP USA. You get a email release from some young Republicans saying racist shit about blacks and Hispanics, all of these things. We get gaslight by your president, garbage. He don't want no people in this country. He don't want these people in this country. And then you align with that president. And then when I tell you Republicans don't want black people in their party, y'all get upset. What the hell is going on? You get upset when I say that you don't want us in your party. Why are you upset when I say that? Just be the full-blown racist that you want to be. Stop trying to make it seem like it's my fault. See, this is the gaslight I don't want. I don't like gaslighting like
From our
this.
ancestors, not appearance. Yeah. All right? Blackness is a Western category. So
you think we ain't tired of you, cracker? You think we ain't tired of you? God damn. Like you ain't can't nobody get tired of you. What? Why you in my chat? I don't understand. Why you in my chat telling me something I don't know? Like I ain't tired of you either. People like you. Okay? People like you, not regular white people, trash like you. Trash like you, Vinny. Trash like you. I'm tired of trash like you. Regular, normal, everyday white people, I'm cool with. Trash like you is a different story.
Somalia is a civilization. Big difference. We're Somalis. Chill like that. Chill like that. What's your thoughts on this?
I'm trying to apply for a job. They ask me, what's your race? I'm not black. Why did they put a Somali in there? I'm not black at all. I am not black. I'm more close to a Filipino than I'm black. Still.
No, we're not upset, Patricia. That's the problem. We're not upset. You're mad that we're not upset. We're not upset. We're not upset. We just don't have any we don't have any feeling about it whatsoever. Why do you think black people just said they were going to sit this fight out? because we don't care. You fight over you let the brown people know you don't want the brown people there. Talk to the brown people. Stop talking to the black people. We don't care. Why you think black people sat this fight out? Why you think black people are sitting this? Because we don't care. Why do you make it seem as though we don't care about that? Come on. What are you talking about? I'm just trying to give my brown and black people some kind of clues. Okay? Y'all over here having this debate about color. I'm not having a bit. I was talking to my black and brown brothers. Y'all came over here talking the racist ish. I wasn't. You came over to my channel talking ish. How you gonna come over my channel and tell me I'm racist because I'm talking to my black and brown brothers? I ain't said not one thing that's been racist, not one thing. But y'all mad because I ain't saying that. Why black people always bring up race? I didn't go to your channel and bring up race. I'm talking in my chat about race. I'm talking to my people. I'm talking about the black and the brown community that we share skin color, that we share the affinity, we share the marginalized thing. I don't understand. What's going on? You over here in my chat. I'm not in your chat. What?
No niggas are trying to put me as a bad guy. I'm not black. I'm just talking.
So what if I'm burning videos right? First, last name. Don't you go to your channel and play whatever you want to play? Why the hell can't I play what I want to play? I don't understand. Why you trying to police what I play? Why you ain't trying to police what I play on my channel? What's going on? I don't even understand. Why you over here bitching at me about what I play on my channel? Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm not black.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you?
Your president came on TV and called these people garbage and trash. I am talking to my Somali brothers and sisters, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, and say, you all need to be more unified. Somali people need to be more unified. You all have thieves and whatever you got in your community. Y'all need to clean that up. I'm over here talking to my Somali and my Hispanic brothers and sisters. Y'all came over here talking about race. That's all you had to do was listen to what I was saying. I didn't denigrate any human being over here except your shitty, trash ass president. That's it. That's the only person that's got denigrated over here is your shitty, trash ass president. That's it. You had no reason to come over here crashing out about what I am and what I ain't. And Vinny, I got an issue with you if you don't know the difference between my picture, a man and a woman. That tells me that I can't depend on your sexual partners. If you don't know the difference between a man and a woman, a picture of a woman or a man, that tells me you're ambiguous with your sex. Shut your ass up.
Whose name are you carrying? When my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them.
Here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem right here. The problem is, ever since your president became president, ever since he became president last November, he has said that he's the president for people in the red states. He said he was the president for the people in the red states. I'm not a red state person. So seeing as how he said he's not my president, he's the president of the red states. He gives them funding. He gives them praise. He denigrates my state. He denigrates the people in my state. He denigrates my black and brown brothers. Right? Hispanic brothers, my Somalian. He denigrates all of them. That tells me he doesn't want to be my president. Okay? That's what that tells me. He doesn't want to be my president. Okay? So if he wants to be the president of all of us, then he needs to start acting like that. He needs to start acting like that. Okay? Every chance he gets, he doesn't have to say, just like people come over here in my chat and say, HQ, you need to stop getting your EBT food stamps. Just like they say, I need to get my EBT food stamps. What are you implying? Are you implying that I'm poor? Your president implies that he doesn't care about the blue states. Your president does that. So as soon as he starts to care about all of the states, then I'll call him my president. Other than that, I don't claim him as my president. I claim him as the embarrassment that he is. The embarrassment that he is. That's what I claim him to be.
To another, to a third.
Somali man explains why they are not black. We speak Afro-Asiatic language, so there's so many differences. We are closer. To us genetically, we are closer to the North Africans than the West Africans, and that's a fact. That's a okay, fine. Fact. Now, that's a fact. Now, do you accept? That's a fact. Do you accept? Do you accept that Somalis, Eritreans? It's true. E1B1B what happened? One second. And expanded to North Africa. One second. Do you accept? Abdullah, listen. Do you accept that Somalis, Eritreans, and Ethiopians are collectively the most homogeneous group on the planet? 100%. Do we collectively share an East African identity? 100%. Do we?
I know you're not over here talking about perpetual poverty, David, saying when most of you Republicans are the poorest ones in the country. You Republicans are the poorest ones in the country. That's the problem. He wants to be president for you. He doesn't want to be president for the blue states. He wants to be president for the red states. I don't need to get ahead in your eyes, Kevin. I do just fine. I do amazingly well.
And Nigerians share a collective African identity.
Definitely not.
No, let me respond to that. Do we share a collective identity? No, I'm not going to respond to that because you've cut off the people of North Africa.
No, you know what I want, Mark Arnold? I want people to recognize that they have prejudice and biases in their thought process. I want people to do that. I want you to recognize that you have racism and biases in your thought. And then I want you to actively work on not having those. That's what I want. That's what I want. All of us have prejudice. All of us have implicit bias. All of us do. But I want people to consciously work on it. And you constantly have this pushback of, why are you talking about race? Why you X, Y, and Z? Because you still have the prejudice and the biases and you don't want to work on them. Everyone has prejudices and biases. The whole point is to work on them, to minimize them, so it's not your knee-jerk reaction. That's the problem. And nobody wants to work on them. They just want to react on them all the time. Like I have people in the chat crashing out. You want to be a victim. You want to be on the Democratic plantation. You want to be racist instead of checking themselves. Instead of checking themselves for those implicit biases and those racial thoughts. Okay? That's it. The first thing I say is a color, black, white, Hispanic, and I'm racist. And I'm further from racist than most people are because I am comfortable talking about race. I am not racist because I have tried to face my implicit biases, to face my prejudices. I have wanted to hit those straight on. But most people don't want to hit those straight on. They want to keep calling me names in the chat. You're racist. you're this, you're that. No. Face your racism. Face your implicit bias. Stop telling other people they're racist when you haven't faced yours. Jesus. Because you all keep bringing it up. Because it's a factor in your thought processes, Kevin Connor. We're always a victim. Always a victim. Always.
Do we all of us African? Yes. 100%. Yes.
It couldn't be that you could try to face your prejudices and your implicit biases, huh, Vinny? Not that you have anything wrong with you. White is just right. You have no implicit bias whatsoever. Not that you'd ever try, because you look like you old and you set in your ways. I'm old too, but at least I recognize that I have implicit biases and I have racial things that I think about, but I try to face them. Jesus.
Are we black? No, we're not black. And I explain to you why. We've got a different phenotype, we've got a different culture, we've got different, we speak Afro.
Maybe they ain't got no money, Charles White. Who the fuck knows?
Asiatic language.
Yeah, of course I'm using a race card. Of course I'm using a victim card, Vinny. It couldn't be that you're just plain out racist and you're just too immature to accept yourself and that implicit bias that you got. It couldn't be that. It had to be me. It just couldn't be you. It's just got to be me.
Let's move on.
Did you just say you have different culture?
Yeah, we have a different culture. Okay, hold on. There's more differences than similarities.
Yeah, but
no, hold on. Let the sisters culturally work similar. Okay, one at a time, Mahmoud, please.
That's the whole point. The whole point is to face it in yourself. To face it in yourself. If you have it. I'm not saying every human being has. I'm saying most people have some kind of implicit bias. Things that we think about the other race. Things we think about the other culture, ethnic group, whatever. Things that we think are true, but they may not be true. But so I try to face those every day. And facing those mean hitting prejudice and racist and racial things head on instead of hiding behind them the minute somebody calls out race or says anything about race. I'm just tired of niggers using the race card. Wow. Okay, now you really got to go because you crossed the line because I don't deal with immature men. And it's really sad that you're an adult that got gray hair and you're immature. Please leave my chat. I don't have any conversation for people like that. Immaturity is just crazy. When somebody tells you that there's an issue and then you blame that person. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Just the immature is wild. Vinny Garth, the weight, just immature. Wild to me. I can't with people like that. I cannot.
Let the sisters go around the circle one by one and everyone. I listen what some.
That's wild. I didn't say anything about anybody being racist or anything like that. Never did. I was talking to my Somali brothers and sisters. That's it. I was talking about them. I was talking to them. Okay? And I was saying, okay, look, the president wants to push. He wants to push this ethnocentrism type thing. We have to push back on that. Okay? Yeah. But we have to. We have to push back together. All of us have to push back together because we're trying to make a better America. We're trying to do that. We have to demand that this country honors its promises, honors its America first, equal protection under the law, dignity for all. So everybody who is here belongs here. Okay? We got to call out this crazy rhetoric. I don't know about y'all, but I got embarrassed when I heard that president say garbage. I don't care whether those people were doing what they were doing. That president just pardoned a drug dealer. Y'all need to stop it. He just pardoned a drug dealer. And then he goes on a rant about the Somali people? Are you kidding me? At least the Somali people weren't trying to kill people. The drug dealer was trying to kill people. 400 pounds of X, Y, and Z. Stop it. See the hypocrisy that we get? See the hypocrisy that we get? That don't even make sense to me. Y'all hit the like and the share and the subscribe button. We have this kind of content every day. Stealing, not killing people. Not killing people. So we have to push back, all of us. We got to demand that this X, Y, and Z. We got to call out this rhetoric. Calling people garbage is wild. And then he pardons a drug dealer. He's in the Caribbean killing drug dealers right now in boats. But you let one out of prison. Stop it. Stop it. That's wild. That's wild. And nobody is saying anything. Oh no, just let it. No, just let him do it. It ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal that he pardoned a drug dealer. He's already in the Caribbean breaking them off, killing them there. What difference does it make whether we let one loose? Hypocrisy much? Hypocrisy much? I don't understand what's going on with you people. Some of y'all get in the chat, talk crazy. We got to defend the idea that America belongs to all of us, not just white people. It belongs to the black, brown, immigrant, native born, not just one group. And those in power want to pit us against each other. We got to say hell no. We got to say hell no. This is not a short-term thing. This is a long-term thing. Okay? We need to always be vigilant against this president and the things he is trying to do. As far as I can see, he hasn't put America first. As far as I can see. We are living in a moment when the highest office in the land is not just talking about immigration and law, but he's talking about reshaping America, not as a nation as we know it, but as a different nation, as a whiter nation, a native-born nation. But you can't do that unless you get rid of a lot of us, and we're not trying to go anywhere. Okay? Us women are the problem in America. Sit down and shut up, black woman. We are done with immigration. Garbage is right. Look at this trash right here. Wow. That's wild. That you just come in the chats crashing out. See, some of y'all just come in and crash out. No respect for nothing. You just come in and crash out and say the wildest shit. Okay? On day one, this president came into this administration. There was an executive order aimed at eliminating guaranteed birthright citizenship. You never know what those ramifications are. Okay? That is stood by us as 150 years of rooted in the 14th Amendment, rooted in the United States Constitution, and this person is trying to get rid of it. What the hell does that mean? We don't know how far they're willing to go. I thought the 13th, 14th Amendment was for black people to say that they were legally born, they were legally citizens. How the hell I know they ain't gonna try to redo that? Okay? This is what makes this country amazing. That people stand over on another shore and say, we want to belong to that country. Okay? I think they're on the cusp of overturning the 14th Amendment. I believe they are. There's no guarantee. Think about this. Think about this. If there's no guarantee that a child born in Atlanta, Dearborn, Detroit, Minneapolis, or anywhere else in the United States is an automatic American, just think about that. A country where you're not automatically an American anymore. What if I'm not automatically an American anymore? Then and they can just overturn that. The Constitution can just be overturned any way, shape, or form you want to. Any president can come along and overturn the Constitution any old way he wants to. That's what he's doing. That is what he's doing. I don't understand why this is not more of an outrage. it's more of an outrage? Why it's not more of an outrage that the president is messing and tinkering around the Constitution? Just imagine if you're born here, but you may not be a citizen. That undermines the foundational principle of this country, that being born here makes you an American. It doesn't matter how hard your parents work, or how rich they are, how poor they are, how much you love this country. It begs the question, what does your skin or nationality say about whether you belong here or not? That's my whole point, Mark. That's my whole point, Mark, right there. And people are not saying anything. Okay. This president coming from the top, this rhetoric that treats immigrant communities of color as disposable or garbage is unnecessary and unwanted. Now we have this increased immigration enforcement raids, especially in Somalia neighborhoods, especially in Minneapolis. Families who thought they were safe, legal residents, or long-time contributor, whatever, now they fear coming outside. Detention, deportation, being treated like criminals simply because of their background. That is not immigration policy. I'm sorry. That's not immigration policy. That's a state built on fear, exclusion, and race. You notice that, Tammy, right? How do you say yes to everything this president puts in front of you? How do you let a president tinker with the United States Constitution because he wants to? How do you let a president do that? You all hit the like, share, and subscribe button, please, and thank you. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I appreciate it. We have content like this every day. How do you let a president just fool with that, right? This heightened state is built on fear, exclusion, and race, right? It doesn't just threaten immigrants, it threatens Black Americans, Latinos, children that are mixed, anybody whose name, skin, or religion. What if they target people who have different religion? What if they say that Christianity or nationalism, Christian nationalism is the only way we can be here? What if they decide that's the most important religion? What if they decide that? Because once that principle that everybody belongs is weakened, once the government begins to treat people like they belong only if they match certain things like ancestry, status, color, skin color, it stops being about immigration. It becomes about who is allowed to belong here. Okay? Who's allowed to belong here? That's crazy. And we shouldn't be fooled by the silence from some of these white people. That's the problem. This is the bone I got to pick with the white folks. If you know this is wrong, then do something about it. If you know the direction of the country is going is wrong, do something about it. The silence is complicity. When the system is restructured to favor whiteness, neutrality isn't a shield against it. Not speaking up doesn't protect you. It empowers the hate and the division and the policies that can eventually affect people of color and even future generations of people of color. And then the black people, other people of color who may disagree with immigration or worry about jobs or social services. Y'all need to speak up too. Some of them may even vote for that. But when those policies treat immigrants, legal or not, or their children as unworthy or dangerous, because that's the message, illegal immigrants are dangerous. Anybody that comes from a different country is dangerous. You're all dangerous. You're all dangerous. They chip away at the protections and dignity of all non-white Americans. That's not cool. Because ethnic, immigrant, and racial solidarity matters. We have to fight against this ethnocentric, whiteness-centered state It's not just about immigrants. It's about civil rights, equal protection, and the promise that this country has made, flawed that it was, what it stood for. That you can be born here or come here to work and raise your kids and know that you belong here. This is wild. No matter your skin, the accent, your parents' name, it shouldn't matter. If we stay divided like this, immigrant versus natural born, black versus brown, brown versus Latino, Latino versus African immigrant, whatever, we lose. We gonna lose. We hand over the power to those who want to divide and conquer us, though. We have to stand together. Muslims, Arabs, immigrants, refugees, we have to defend belonging here. We have to defend justice. We have to defend what it means to be American. I'm sorry, we just do. This is a warning. I'm just saying it's a warning. This isn't about a distant, a far off policy. They're trying to do it now. And it's a call for all of us to speak up. We have to. Black, white, brown, white, red, we need to all speak up. Build solidarity across communities. We have to fight against. It's really what it really is about the rich against the poor. You're right about that, Tammy. It's basically rich against the poor because they getting all that they want. They getting everything that they want. Okay. The rich people getting everything they want, and we still down in the dumps trying to figure out what the hell going on. Okay. We have to figure out what the hell we gonna do to fight these people. What are we gonna do? Okay. We have to start doing something. Okay. Most of us have a job, Carls. Most of us have a job. Okay. Most of us do. And most of us want to stay here. We have to make sure we get involved with those no king protests. We have to talk to our senators, our congressmen. I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. Because otherwise we're gonna be struck. We're gonna be struck. Because I don't know about nobody else, but I can't retire right now. I gotta work at least 4 more years in order to get out of the debt that I'm in order for me to retire. And I'm sick of being on the back end of this shitty stick because I'm not rich. Carls, we're not talking about we're not talking about that. We're talking about we got a different subject going on. Okay? Different subject. Clue in on the room. Okay? All I'm saying is we have to figure out what we're going to do in order to help combat this goofiness that is going on. Everybody wants to see immigration. We all want immigration. We just don't want crazy immigration. Okay? We just don't want the crazy immigration. We want immigration. We just don't want crazy immigration where people are getting thrown out after they've been here. It's 10, 8, 11, 20 years. And then you find out that they get thrown out for no good reason. They went to the store and got thrown out for no good reason. Okay? For no good reason. So this is what I'm saying that we have to fight. We have to be diligent with these things. But it is what it is. I hope we can put it together. I hope we can start fighting together and doing what we got to do. But you never know what these people are going to, you never know how people are going to treat the whole let's fight together dialogue. Okay? It hurts deeply. It hurts very much that we're getting targeted. People are getting targeted. I know the Hispanics don't know what the fuck is going on. I know they don't. I know they mad. You can't tell me that they voting for Donald Trump again. You can't tell me that they voting again for Donald Trump. Ain't no way. They don't even compute to me that you would even vote for Donald Trump anymore. But but it is what it is, and I heard it's just crazy. It's wild. Hopefully we can get back to some normalcy. I don't know how. I don't know when or why. but we need to do something. We need better than what we're doing. Okay. What I think what really turned people around was those Epstein files and the Trump administration going to court trying not to pay people food stamps. I think that turned people around. That turned a lot of people off right there. Okay. That turned a lot of people off. Because that made no sense to me. That made no sense to me that you would go to court and try to block people from getting food stamps. I don't understand what's going. Why would you do that? Why would you try to hurt the communities like that? And most of the people who have food stamps are white. Most of them who had food stamps were white. But yet and still, you would go to court to try to make sure that they couldn't get it. To make sure that they couldn't get it. But it is what it is, and we just that was it. I don't know. I don't know how to face it, how to do it. All I know is we gotta start being more outraged than what we are. We've gotta be more upset than what we are. Because a lot of people are letting these things happen. Donald Trump went to court 3 times to stop people from getting food stamps, Kevin O'Connor. 3 times. 3 times. Okay? We're not talking about whether we can fish or we can't. There's people that are going to be on food stamps regardless. It just is what it is. And it's no time to try to feed anybody in the middle of a recession. This president put us in a recession. We are where we are. Okay? We are where we are. It just is what it is. Ain't no sense of fighting against it or being mad. It just is what it is. The president went to court 3 times. 3 times to shut up food stamps. Okay? 3 times to shut up food stamps. 3 times. He went to court. So far to go to court and shut off 3 times. No, why would he need to go all the way there when he gave $40 billion to Argentina? Why would he need to do that when he had $40 billion to give to Argentina? Why would he need to do that? See, that's what y'all can't explain. You can't explain why your president went all the way to court 3 times to stop people from getting food stamps. 3 times. Not 2 times, 3 times. Not 1 time, 3 times. To make sure people did not get food stamps. That's all on him. We are going to admit that the Democrats shut the government down. We admit that. Democrats shut the government down. We admit that. But then again, your president doubled down on not giving people food stamps 3 times. And the food stamps were already allocated, like Longbone said, they were already allocated for the food stamp recipients. Why y'all always worried about free shit, Brad Newman? Why you always worried about free shit? What the fuck difference does it make whether people get free shit or not? I don't understand. Why are you bitching about free shit? I don't understand. Why are you bitching about free shit? It don't make you no never mind. But you in here talking about free shit. Why the hell you worried about free shit? Okay? And don't come in here talking about no illegals get food stamps, goofy. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Democrats shut the government down. Your president went to court 3 times not to give people food stamps. Your president went to court 3 times so he would make sure he wouldn't be able to use those reserves of money when he had it. He said he didn't when he did. He was lying about that. So I'm saying to you, don't come over here like your president is righteous. Your president is a piece of trash for what he did. You all please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, please, and thank you. The like, share, and subscribe button. Of course, there's always going to be people who need free shit, Carls. Always gonna be the people who need free shit. I don't even know why y'all see these are things that we shouldn't even be bitching about. I don't even understand why we having a conversation when you already know there's people who need food stamp. Why are you bitching about people who need food stamp? I don't understand. You're okay. Hold on. Hold on. Where is she at? Where is my girl at? Where is my girl at? Ooh, 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 ooh. Where's my girl at? Let me show y'all. Where's my girl? Here she go. Where's my girl? Where's she at? Where's she at? Hold on, right here. Where's she at? Because y'all sound wild to me.
Please help me make sense.
Hold on. Get off there.
I'm going to try to keep my composure and not curse.
Hold on.
Please help me make sense of this. I'm going to try to keep my composure and not curse. Please help me understand. So, you're okay with your tax dollars going to a foreign country so that their citizens, all of their citizens, every single one, has free healthcare, free housing, free education, monthly payments to support their children. Their children get monthly payments from the government into a savings account. But what you do have a problem with is our own American citizens going hungry because you don't want your tax dollars going to people who can't afford food. Food and healthcare. So we're going to have people hungry and dying in our country. So American. So American. But you're okay with sending money to a foreign country so that their citizens can live the life. You're okay with that. I don't hear you talking about that, though. Because I think that that's just the hatred in your heart speaking. Because logically, that makes no fucking sense. It's stupid. It's fucking dumb for you to even think that way. And to be honest with you, I think your breath stinks. Because all you do is talk shit out of your mouth all fucking day. Oh, all day. It's all you do. And you sound ridiculous.
Yeah, you sound ridiculous, Brad Newman. You sound fucking ridiculous. All you do is talk shit about Americans, but you're okay with your money going overseas. They don't look at it like that. Who said I wasn't gonna cuss? Who told you that? I don't even know. That's wild to me. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe. We have content like this every day. I will be back tomorrow with some other subject, maybe some news. Shut up, you idiot. Go live in the ghetto and then you come back and talk shit. Shut up, you idiot. Go live in the ghetto. Oh my God. He only been in here a few minutes and he crashing the fuck out. The zombie, Charles, what his name? Carl's 243. The zombie is crashing out. He said, shut up, idiot. This is what he said. Shut up, idiot. Go live in the ghetto and then you come back. Let me tell you something, Carlos 243. I don't need to live in a ghetto. I live in a 4-bedroom house, 3 baths, by myself, because I pay for it, because I own it, and I work 2 hours a day, but I get paid for 8 hours worth of work. Shut your ass up. I don't need to go back to no ghetto. Shut your ass up. I will be back tomorrow with any kind of news. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you showing up. We will be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll have some news, interesting news. I love all of y'all. I love all of y'all.